Lean in with Lisa, put her to the test. Lean in with Lisa, so get it off your chest. It's more than just a trend, cause everyone's her friend. So lean in with Lisa, spend your time with Lisa. Lisa's got something to say. So reach out to Lisa every day.
Hey, everybody. We got a great show for you today. We have a very special guest on who I have known and loved for many, many years. He is, I guess you could call him a Renaissance man. He does it all. He's an actor. He's a producer. He's a writer. He's a stand-up comedian. He has won 2 NATA's Emmy Awards. Do you know what that is, Alan? NATAS.
Not exist. Sounds just like an Emmy in that, as far as I'm concerned. We got
well,
an
I'll take
Emmy
that.
award-winning Renaissance man, actor, comedian on the show today.
That's exactly what he is. I'll accept that. He did a 90-minute stand-up special called Datitude, which aired primetime on the Showtime network. And he is one of the funniest people that I know. And we all know him and we all love him. And we know him as a Lovemaster. He's Craig Shoemaker.
So reach out to Lisa every day.
Hey, Craig.
Hi, Lisa.
How are you?
I am fantastic. Are we actually on a podcast or just hanging?
We're doing both.
It's been a while.
I know. It's been a while. I don't know. The last time we saw each other was, I think, at the supermarket, but you were wearing a mask. So I thought you were Tom Brady.
If only I was Tom Brady or a part of Tom Brady or had jewelry like Tom Brady or no, it was not Tom Brady.
Wait, but you do have a wife who's as beautiful as Tom Brady's wife.
I didn't go there. I almost did for the joke, but there's no. Yes.
All right. Well, I got there in time. Okay. So, Craigie.
Yes, Lisa.
Craigie, I have a question.
Yeah.
I've known you a while. We've known each other a while, right?
We're not allowed to say how long. I whenever I hang out with old friends, we're not allowed to say when we met because it has an 80 in front.
Right. And you're not allowed to use the word old.
That's right.
So
I cherish friends.
We're like family basically. And our kids went to school together. Justin went to school with Sarah. Congratulations on his graduation.
Thank you.
My daughter just graduated. She's about to graduate from UCSB. But do you like to be called Shoe?
Yes,
or Craigie?
Well, no, not Craigie. That's
wait. Your grandma used to call you Craigie.
Well, what's funny about that is my mom named me Craig because she didn't think you could put you got Ricky, got all the she thought that you couldn't do that with Craig. So my aunt and uncle used to come over and go, "Hello, Craigie." My mother would go, "They do that to irritate me. They do it on purpose." I said, "Mom, do you really think they're sitting around having dinner going, how can we mess with Barbara Shoemaker? I got it. Call Craig Craigie." So it brings back a bad memory. She might be watching, Lisa. She better not call me Craigie.
Okay, I won't call you Craigie. I call you Shoe.
Yes. A lot of people do. Well, it works out well that way because you become unique. We're from back east, and you nickname people. That's what you do. You shorten their last name. My last name, Shoemaker. They call me Shoe. Steve Wartenberg is Wart to this day. Stagliano is Stag.
Yeah, Ben Victor, Paul Ben Victor, our friend Paul, he calls me Connie because my last name is Conrad.
Exactly.
So he still calls me Connie to this day.
You either put a Y in the end or you shorten it. Cerami is
Exactly.
Ceram. Now, Scott Astor was not fond of this method, but he learned how to deal with it. Don't call
I can only imagine. When did people start calling
Tony
you?
Tony Pusini had to move. That was it for him.
So people started calling you Shoe when you got into showbiz.
No.
That was
goes back.
High school.
No, beyond that, since I was a boy. And what's funny is I'm watching my kids grow up, and we grew up in a neighborhood. You and I are in the same neighborhood with these, West Coast, more wealthy kids. They don't do nicknames.
Entitlements. The kids who are enabled.
The good old days of stuff you in a locker. They don't do that anymore. They put my head in a toilet, called it a whirly or a swirly, whatever it was. They don't do this. I've actually asked them. There's no fights. There's no nicknaming. No shaming.
We used to play.
They're living in a bubble. They're in a bubble, these kids. They didn't go, I took them bowling. I said, here's a ball. You have these little remote fingers. You use a 16-pound ball and build some muscle. Here's some shoes been worn by 900 people and they've been cleaned by an aerosol poisonous gas cloud. So you gets in your lungs, you develop some immunity, bubble boy. That's how it should work.
There you go.
But not in our neighborhood. No.
I try to play hit the penny with my daughter. She goes, "Are you kidding?"
What's hit the penny?
You know, when you put the penny on the floor, you take the Spalding ball and you hit the friggin' penny.
That's Brooklyn. I don't know that one. I'm going to add that to the
What about, all right, stoop ball. Stoop ball.
Oh, I love
Remember
stoop ball. Of course. Don't even
you played that in Philly, huh?
They have a patio. A patio.
Patio. Yes, a patio.
The
white
stoop out here. It's a whole other world. Patio. They don't have the same games that we had. Hey, listen, I'm not being.
It's a sun deck.
I'm not being like inappropriate here or politically incorrect, but I'm going to tell you the name of a game, and I wonder if you had this game. Okay, understand, people. Stop with the cancel culture. All right, this is an actual fact of what the game was called, and I happen to look it up, and it has nothing to do with anything derogatory toward any race. It's another word for, anyway. This game, it's called chink. Chink in the armor. It's an actual thing. That's what it's named after. So you don't need to edit or cancel culture. This is an actual factual game that was called chink. And if you
is that what you used to?
If you hit it was at wall ball basically, and if you hit this little corner area, not the wall, not the ground, there's a little area that's called the chink area. That was a game that we played in the streets. We played ass ball. Did you ever play that?
Let's bring I got to bring a guy on who's from Philly because I know that you and he can have a great time with this because let's see if he knows these games. Okay. I have my writer here. Hey, Alan, can you bring our writer on, Adam Labarkin, please, to meet Craig Shoemaker? Adam Labarkin, hi. Philly guy. Yes. Are you wearing your Philly jersey?
My Eagles jersey. I heard it was a special occasion. But I did play wall ball, and I played, it wasn't called ass ball, it was called RA, which stood for red ass, because the person would have to stand against the wall and you'd hit him if you touch it.
Right.
So we called it RA, same game.
It was a punishment thing. If you lost, you went up against the wall, you put your head against the wall, and you put your rear end out, and they hurled the ball at your rear end.
I think if you touched the ball, if you tried to catch it and missed it and it touched you, you'd have to run into the wall before somebody else threw it. And then if they hit their first,
Why don't they have these games anymore? It drives me nuts.
I'm not from Philly.
Do you know Buck, Lisa?
Buck?
Buck.
Buck.
Yeah, buck.
You play it with a chicken? I don't know. What is it?
No, it was you held onto a pole and everybody lined up like a chain.
I like the pole part.
Okay, no, not that kind of pole.
Oh.
There's no 20s. These are kids. You line up on a pole. They go buck number one, and they leap into the air and they try to make it to the pole while you're trying to buck them off of you. Okay, it's a very, very cool game. We
got to get my daughter to play this. Yes, I got to get my daughter off the electronics to play buck.
Exactly right. This is my point.
You just got back from a cross country trip with your son Justin, didn't you?
Yes, it was awesome.
Now let me ask you this: the cross country, you're in the car for many hours.
Yes.
And I want to know: did Justin look out the window once, or was he on his phone the whole time?
No, I forbade him from that.
You did?
He was
That's so cool.
It was the only way he could go on the phone is to look for directions. That was it.
He was your navigator.
He was my navigator. Yes, I drove most of the way, even though I gave him the car for his graduation. Another thing, by the way, that we never had growing up. I
didn't get a car till I was 25.
Well, you didn't get a car.
And it was used.
You bought a car, $200, a beater that you just ran till it dropped.
Thank you very much.
Plants growing in the back. It was so dirty on the seats. Full pot plants. That's how
unbelievable.
I sound like OG cranky over here.
But we didn't have seatbelts back. Did we have seatbelts back then? I think I was on the floor half the time when my parents were driving in the car with me. I was in the back seat on the floor. They're like, "Is Lisa still here?"
And they check for you with that. They all had very long arms. Our parents had very long.
Both of my parents had very long arms.
And that was your.
They looked like Jack Skellington. Yes.
Yes, they would reach over if they hit the brakes. They reach over really quick. It's like their arm is going to stop you from hurtling through.
Exactly.
Airbag was Fat Uncle Ray. He stopped you from going through windshields.
I had a Fat Uncle Ray. Yes.
You had one too.
Thank God for Fat Uncle Ray. Yes. Otherwise, I would have been going through the windshield half the time.
I used to have a joke about that because I was raised Jewish and like Protestant, Catholic, whatever the hell it was.
You're a mutt.
Yeah,
okay.
But I used to say it was so confusing. There was Passover and Easter were the same week, right? So I didn't know which day it was. I go, Is the empty chair for Elijah or Uncle Ray today? Oh, I got a bark on that one.
Was that yours or mine?
I
That
don't
is
know.
mine. I'm muting it.
Oh, that was yours. That was yours. That
McMahon.
was Cisco.
That was
So-
awesome. My
so you-
joke got heckled by a dog, or even that was a good laugh.
So Adam, I want to tell you a little bit about. So Adam's my writer, and Adam, you need to get off. You need to leave early, right? You said
Well,
you have
got
something going
45
on.
minutes.
He's,
You're
he's about to sell his Oscar-winning
Yeah, I got
script. So,
meeting.
but we're going to ask. Adam wants to ask you a couple of questions that you've never been asked
Oh, we're
before.
doing it.
Oh, never
But,
been asked.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
challenge. We want to see if we can ask our guests 5 things they've never been asked. Because
Yeah,
you're very popular, done a lot of interviews, you've done a lot of these by now. We're trying to mix up. We want to see if we can come up with things
Great.
you've never been asked.
It's almost like Stump You. So I have to tell you if I've ever been asked before?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can say I've asked that. Give me another one. So we're gonna try. These are type of no right answers.
You want to try?
Yeah, it's just your opinions. See if you've been asked.
So, do you want to start with the
Yeah.
first question, Adam, and then
Here we go.
okay.
Here we're trying.
right,
what's
shoot.
a funnier stand-up comedy bit? The Israel-Palestine conflict or race relations?
No, I've never been asked
Okay.
that one before. A funnier bit?
Yeah.
I would go race relations.
Okay.
Because I think that we don't know enough about what's going on over there. We only hear reports of it,
Yeah.
but race relations are right in our backyard. So,
All right.
as a matter of fact, truth is always the funniest. So, if it's your truth of your experience, which most people don't have experience in Israel or Palestine or anywhere like that, it's our backyard. We have lots of racial stuff going on in all races,
Great.
So there's a lot of division and conflict, and conflict can lead to comedy.
All right.
I particularly don't really. I have one bit in my act about. I was just found out that through my 23andMe that I'm 23. I'm sorry, 14% African from Ghana.
Whoa.
So I'm black.
Wow.
Well, I'm not surprised after seeing the Lovemaster.
So, and a week after I found out, I got pulled over by the police. The cop says to me, "Do you know why I stopped you?" I said, I think we both know.
We got your results. They actually get all the results from 23andMe, I think.
Exactly. I know. Hey, you can see him, buddy. I got it.
Especially the line that you had in your movie
What's
that Michael Goldberg directed.
Yes.
Did Michael Goldberg write it? The one that you did with Farrah Fawcett?
I wrote the movie. He directed.
Oh, you wrote the movie. He directed it. The scene when you ring the bell.
Oh, yes. I remember that. So Farrah Fawcett.
She opens the
Farrah
door.
Fawcett, by the way, she grabbed my junk in rehearsal.
I'm not surprised.
What's the name of the movie?
I happen to think you're cuter than Ryan.
I was in a car where they're like rehearsing. I was practically calling her Miss Fawcett. I'm like, "Thanks for doing my movie, Miss Fawcett. I'm really honored. I had your poster." And she says, "So shut up. I'm just here because I want to know if that Lovemaster is real." And she reaches over and there was no horn in my crotch. I'm not Carrot Top. But anyway, so in the scene, the doorbell rings and she answers. That wasn't my hand that rang the doorbell, baby. Oh yeah. So she
That's
says,
a Lovemaster.
"Come on in." So
When did this
nothing happened in real
Lovemaster? When did you discover that in you, the Lovemaster? I mean, were you in high school?
Yes.
How did that
Yes.
come about? Were you in bed with did you lose your virginity then? What happened?
No, Lisa, opposite. I was in high school a big time geek. I was 5'1", 92 pounds. I won the shortest in the school award. And
Really?
yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Well, you can see now, I'm 6'2" and overweight.
Yeah,
But
you're
anyway, so
a stud.
yeah, sure. And well, nobody was saying that. All the girls like you, the good looking ones, they would use the F word. Friend. I was always the friend. And you know how girls pee together? You all pee, the posse pee.
Yes, I
I'll
just
tell you how
peed
bad-
with my younger daughter.
Right. I'll
Yeah.
tell you how bad it was. They took me with them on the posse pee. I'd be one of the girls
Wow.
sitting on the tub as they talked about all the guys. There was always bad guys. And I was going, why am I such a friend? I can't stand this. I'm always joking with them. They love my jokes. They think I'm funny. And you know what? But nobody wants me. And I'm like, give the geek a chance, baby. Yeah, I'll have you begging like PBS on a pledge drive, baby. Oh, yeah, that's right. So
And
that's
there
how
you
Lovemaster
go.
was born. He channels through me. He's the bad guy that they all really want, but they won't say it.
Yeah, I don't know how a lot of husbands feel in the audience, although they may be very happy when they get home.
Oh, do you know how many births have happened after my show? I've had
I'm not
many
surprised.
exceptions, including Michael Goldberg.
No.
Yes, you didn't know that
You see,
story?
are you kidding? Kayla? His daughter?
We were filming the Lovemaster. You can look it up, do the math. We're in Tempe, Arizona, filming the movie, and Karen says, I'm ovulating. And I said, Golds, do the Lovemaster. It's work for other people. I have a photo of a kid.
Oh, Michael did it. Okay.
I was, yeah, you think I'm the father of Kayla? Is that where you were going with that? Wow.
That's what I was going to say. Is there something I don't know? All right.
No, I told him, I said, all these births have happened. I showed him a photo of a kid that was conceived in the parking lot of the Brea Improv. All these people told me they were once infertile. That guy tried to be the Lovemaster. It loosens things up with laughter. And you're not trying to have a child, right? You just let it go. And guess what? So I said, I'm going to go get sandwiches. I was about to watch the Eagles playoff game against the Lions. And I went out and got sandwiches, came back. He was done already, which is not like the Lovemaster. And baby Kayla, she was born 9 months later. Now, Karen says it might have been 2 days later, but I still think that's when it was.
Well, she should have named the baby Craigie.
Oh. I told you, don't.
Anyway.
My mother, you're going to edit that out for my mother.
Your mother. I never met your mother, but I know a little bit about your grandma.
Oh, yeah. My grandma.
Did she really smoke weed, Craig? Come on.
She grew it.
I don't believe you. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. My grandmother grew it in the backyard. I said, what are you going to do about the cops?
The hell with them. I tell them I've got glaucoma. It's medicinal, you know.
So my grandmother was into medicinal marijuana way before it was popular, way before it was legal. So she took a risk on growing it because she says,
what are they going to do? Cuff me?
That's what she used to say. She used to dare the cops to come arrest her. But yeah, my first pot was like, well, not my first, but she'd say,
come here, smoke a joint with your nana. What are you backing up? You're 12, you pussy. Come over here. Let me give you a shotgun.
You know, I noticed that a lot of the comedians out there that are very successful, like yourself, because I know you won a Comedy Central award and you had your own show on HBO. But do you think most of these comedians come from very dysfunctional families?
That is a question I've definitely been asked, and I still don't have the answer. I will tell you that if you're mining material, I just actually talked to someone who works for me about this, who wants to be a writer, is a writer, said the truth is always the best. So if you can find absurdities within the truth of things that happen, that's the easiest stuff to write. And so that takes a little bit of life experience. And usually if you have experience, if you're not long in life, if you're 20 years old, 22 years old, whatever it is, well, then you have your family to mine from, or these difficulties in high school or grade school or things like that. So if you're looking for material, it's right there for many people. But I've always heard that Seinfeld had a very normal life, and he doesn't, always had that thing, no hugs and all that kind of stuff. And where a lot of us long for hugs because we did not have that growing up. And that's what motivates many comedians, is to get that love, because we get that love and attention from audience members. And that's right. So there's some sort of energy that's formed between a bond that's from audience to comedian. And I think that is really fulfilling some of that yearning that we have for nurturance and attention and kindness. And, it's something a lot of us did lack. Now, I happen to come from really difficult circumstances.
You give your kids more nurturing and love than they could ever even handle.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
right. I saw that.
It's not necessarily, a good thing. I have one kid that doesn't like it at all. He's completely shut me out, so he has his story, that he might not. And as a matter of fact, I actually went overboard with him. So I probably, I'm trying to give them what I lacked, and that might not be the answer.
Sometimes they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to embrace it.
No, and someday they might, just like I have with my mom. I have the best relationship I ever had with her. It's awesome. I'm with her a lot lately, and she went to the graduation with me. And man, I know where I got my humor from. She makes us laugh really hard with her nuances and her quirks and her neuroses, and it is so funny. So now we don't even argue because I just accept her.
I love that.
Show, called What's Bugging Barb, because everything bugs her. She says, I'll tell you what's bugging me today. Now, don't you feminists come attack me. Female train engineers. I won't even get on the train if it's a female. So she has all these things, and I just accept her. I'm not going to go, Mom, that's wrong. No, it's okay. So I
And
I don't even argue anymore.
and it's good for your show too. You could add some more material through her.
Yeah.
I have another question though for you that you've never been asked before.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Which cast of SNL would you want to be trapped on an island with?
Okay. I've never been asked that question. Are you talking about
I know.
recent SNL or former
That's why
SNL?
could be
Any
Like,
former
over
recent
the
anybody
45
from the
years.
time over the 45 years when Belushi and Aykroyd started the whole
well, I
thing.
have one that did not succeed there, but we certainly know who she is now. She was in probably the worst year in the history of SNL. Can you guess who it is? Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Julie Louis-Dreyfus was it's to me, I am ridiculously attracted to her. She would have to leave her husband, I'd have to leave my wife behind. But look, we're trapped on an island. Somehow we got there. Maybe those two perished at sea. Maybe they're together, she and her wife, her husband and my wife. But whatever the case is, I am very attracted to humor and her confidence. And I think she's the best actress in the history of television.
I think she is. You know, it's so funny because I liked her on Seinfeld, but I have to say I liked her even more on Veep.
Amazing.
She is. I liked her on Seinfeld. I love her on Veep. I mean, what she does, her timing,
Unbelievable.
her comedic timing, her delivery is impeccable beyond. I don't know if anybody else could do that.
Well,
I mean,
by the way, New Christine, she was on that show as well, Adventures of New Christine. I mean, she is a brilliant actress. And by the way, back to your, we can have a call back to your question. This is someone who grew up with wealth, the Dreyfus Fund. She grew up really, really wealthy.
Oh, that's her family. I didn't know
she
that.
didn't have it, quote unquote, difficult. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Whatever the case is, this is now she's not a stand-up, so she's not mining the material. Come to think of it, she's not writing her own material. But wow, what a performer. Geez, everything that she does. I fell in love with her with Seinfeld, and I just have never, so that's who I want to be on a deserted island with from SNL.
All right. I want to be with Kristen Wiig.
Oh, yeah. Oh, at Tina Fey from Philadelphia. And I ran into her and I fell in love even more when I asked her if she takes her kids to the Jersey Shore, and she does. So I gotta love that because
you gotta love that.
I still
you gotta
bring my
love
family back east, even though we can afford to go anywhere in the world. I take them to the Jersey Shore, get a house on the ocean, and
love the Jersey
inevitably,
Shore.
it's always somebody from Philadelphia who rents to us. And they think I'm from Philadelphia, and so they always do the landlord for the week. They always say, "Hey, with a Philly accent. Hey, where are you guys from?" And I always go, California. I always go, California? What are you doing here at the Jersey Shore? You ain't got no oceans out there in California? So, it's classic. It happens every single time. People are shocked that I lug my whole family back east to go to the Jersey Shore with saltwater taffy and Johnson's popcorn and Mac and Mango. What's that?
But the kids need to see that.
I do it also.
They need to see. I took my kids back to Brooklyn. To Sheepshead Bay. I want them to see where I grew up, what I had and what I didn't have, and I want them to have go to Joe's Clam Bar. Not Joe Stone Crabs. That's another. Joe's Clam Bar and Randazzo's and Lundy's, where it all started, and Coney Island, and go on go to the on the roller coaster. I mean, this is where I grew up. This is where we all grew up. These kids don't realize where we came from.
No,
we had, and I didn't play soccer. I wasn't on the. I didn't know what soccer was.
Right. And many other things that they do that we didn't obviously have video games either, which detaches.
We had nothing like that.
Attachment you had, you just played till dark. That's the part I think is
pinball machines. I would go to the hotel.
That's the most you did was an arcade. You would do an arcade, but that was still.
You go to the Catskills and they'd have the game room with the pinball machine.
People, though, you're with other kids.
With other
you're
people.
learning how to relate to people in society and
having a conversation.
And differences, by the way, you learn how to get along because you're not
with everyone
locked away in a room where you're on a speaker with people. It could be a pedophile on the other end. You have no idea who's on the other end. And
all
these keyboard cowards. And this, you have to face one another right in the eye. And it's such a. And by the way, you're the same as I am. All my friends are still the same from kindergarten and third grade. Every time I just went back, they had a party, 40 people in my friend's backyard when I was there. For me, and it's amazing. My recent television show is produced. It's on Amazon Prime. I have a business show called Wolfpack,
Yeah.
and guess what? The guy's from 3rd grade, and I copied off him. He was so smart. He went to Harvard and has, Wharton and all that. But we stayed in touch, and he presented this show to me, and I took the show and I produced it with him. And I went back to Philadelphia. I called the Eagles. I got the Eagles are the co-producers now. We've shot at the Link. All this Philadelphia. And people that worked on the set were like friends from junior high and stuff like that. And I love it. We still are
The
connected, and
best.
it's because we played ass ball together. That's
Yeah.
what brought us together
Yeah, and those are the friends that you'll have for life.
for
Those are the
life.
friends that love you. They love you warts and all. They don't.
That's right.
It's the real deal. It's
Yeah.
the real deal.
Now, my son, I
And
must say, even though he grew up where we do, he has really, really gotten that part of hanging with dad. And he has friends from 3rd and 1st grade, probably for life. I think one of the kids, Shay Pitts. You know Shay Pitts, don't you?
no, who's
No,
that?
you don't
I don't
know
know.
Ronnie and Babette. I thought you knew.
Oh yes, of course. Oh my God,
Yes,
Babette Perry,
yes, that's his best
Ron, the
friend.
football player.
Yes,
Babette's the
their
best.
son is my son's best friend since 3rd grade.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
Babette is she your agent?
yeah. I mean, well,
She's
has
your
been.
agent. Okay.
So,
Yeah, I
but
used to
it's not
work with
about that.
Babette.
They met anyway. They met as, playground kids. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they bonded, and they're still, best of friends today. And
Jay is a
he
great kid.
he
Great
thank
kid.
he thanks me for this to pass that on to him. So as much as people think that we're curmudgeons saying back in my day and all that kind of, OG cranky over here, but there really is some substance to what we're saying. There's a lesson in that. And my son reflects it back to me. He thanks me and says, geez, Dad, I got that from you, and
That is
it is something that is ingrained in East Coast people. And I would implore people on the West Coast to do that, not have fake friends, not have friends that are going to help you and serve you and, using them. And,
yes,
as soon as
yes.
you're off the set,
Opportunistic friends.
as soon as you're off
Right.
the set, then you're done with
They
them.
don't.
And, no, you either connect or you don't connect. And that's the one thing I don't like most about California. I heard it and denied it for years, but no, it is pretty true that there's a lot of, fair weather friends. So,
You got. All you need is 5. That's it. 5 friends that you can call at 3 a.m. that you could trust, that you could rely on, depend on. And I tell my girls all the time, and that's why I'm a total believer in kids even going back to college on the East Coast because that live
mhm,
out in LA. They need to know what it is like
that's right.
to be with genuine, real.
Yep.
What you see is what you get, people.
That's exactly right. My son just went to school in Western Pennsylvania in the middle of the mountains
Perfect.
and got
That's
to know
perfect.
sons and daughters of coal miners. Do you think he's ever going to find anything close to that out here? I mean,
No, and that's a great experience for him, and I really think that he learned probably a lot about what people are really all about.
yeah.
And like I know you and Golds, you have an amazing friendship since college, right? Or before
We've
college?
known each other for a while through another mutual friend I went to Temple with, Mark
Yeah.
Pogachevsky.
I
And,
know Mark.
and
Yeah,
but Mark and I, since kids, and so that's how I know Golds and from Northeast Philly, and I'm from close to Northeast in Mount Airy.
yeah.
And we
We
got to know
lost
one.
we lost Michael a few years back. Our friend
Yeah.
Michael Goldberg. Unfortunately, he was a great guy.
Well, he also left a legacy of, for me, is I guess you might know this story. I told you that I might have had something to do with the conception of his child, Kayla, from Laughter
Yes.
Healing. Well, when he got brain cancer a year and a half later, that was literally my haha moment. I said, well, does laughter really heal? Because I want to help my friend. He's one of my best friends. I want to help him heal. And what can I do for him? And I started this program, this Laugh for Life program at a cancer facility. And he showed up at every one of them. They gave him 3 months to live, by the way. I
I
remember
remember
that.
how many.
Three,
Remember how many years?
3 months. And he dove into the laughter. As a matter of fact, you're on film on some of it. We've shot all along the years.
Yes.
He would show up at comedy clubs. That was the prescription I gave to the classes, of all these cancer patients. Their caregivers will almost have it worse, by the way. So caregivers have it so difficult. I want to say that to anybody out there that's dealing with someone with cancer. It's so difficult
It
because you're so
is
powerless. So
devastating.
I said, what can I do for Golds? And I started these programs, these guided laughitations, this Laughter Heals Foundation I formed. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. And he showed up for all of it. He put, I said, more comedy films. Let's get out of negativity. Laugh at some of the things that are difficult in your life. When he had a seizure at Philadelphia in the stadium and someone's telling him down in front, they said, he has cancer. He's having a seizure. I don't care. I can't see through him. Sit down. I mean, so we laughed about that.
I know.
And,
He
and
laughed
you know
through
what?
it.
He lived
15
15 years.
years.
15 years
15
past that
years.
3-month prognosis.
Unbelievable.
Because
Yes,
you have
he
a
did.
will
Yes,
to
he did.
live. You have more of a will to
Yes,
live if you have
I believe
laughter and
it.
joy in your life. If you have misery, if people
Totally.
are constantly talking about misery and fear and all that, you don't
Negativity.
want to live. Who wants to live through that? You want
I
life and levity and light.
You have to. Laughter heals. I always believe
Yeah.
laughter heals. I've always believed that. And since my mom had cancer and she laughed through the whole thing, and
Good.
she lived an extra 15 years because she kept it all up, funny, fun.
Donate
Adam,
some money, Lisa. We need money at laughterheals.org. Thank you.
I'm glad you let people know
It's a
that.
nonprofit. We want to
Yes.
keep this. And by the way, out of COVID,
By
what
the
does
way, I did
laughter do? By
donate.
the way,
I do donate to Laughter Heals.
It's great for your immune system. It's exactly what we need more of. And thank God they're going to release the comedians, release the hounds, because now we're going to get out there. And
Finally,
the essential workers are going to bring the medicine to people. We need it more than ever. We have to celebrate life and your vitamin
Yes.
D. You're getting out and you're among people and your circulatory system. Your heart is engaged. Everything, your lungs, everything is great about laughter. So why are they trying to shut us down?
Yeah,
Why are
well,
they
that's
trying to shut us down? FCC, cancel culture, virtue signalers, trying to shut down the comedians. Do you know why? Because we're the curtain pullers, we're the truth tellers. And that's
right.
what people in charge,
They don't want to
power,
hear it.
the money people, they are threatened
Right.
by it.
They're
This is
threatened,
why
and
we're conditioned to believe that
but you're
paying
coming back.
$20 at a comedy show is too much. No, that's your copay, baby. Come to a
Right.
damn comedy show and go get your health back.
Well, if you want to see the funniest show you'll ever see, you have to go see Craig, because Craig, I don't know, I can't count how many times I've seen your show at the Canyon Club.
Yeah.
You are beyond. I mean, I literally wet my pants at least 4 times. But and I got to tell you, thank God for this guy, my writer Adam Labarkin, because if he wasn't in our life, him and his wife and his kids during COVID, they were our pod family. Our
Really?
pod family. We traveled together, we hung out together. If I didn't have his comedic, in my, his, I mean, I wouldn't have gotten through it. I mean, he's not being funny now, but
I'm letting you talk. Yeah, I'm never serious, and she knows it. So
yes. But Adam, are we going back? Let me. We've been talking so long about this other stuff that Craig is doing, which is great stuff. But Adam, throw out another question that Craig's never been asked.
yeah, okay. What's a better theme for an escape room? Matt Gates's basement or an abortion clinic?
Oh my God. This is why you have a writer here. I was wondering, Lisa, I know Lisa from the match game, not match game, like Gene
Match
Rayburn.
game with Gene Rayburn and Brett Summers Klugman. Was that me?
No.
Was that me? Was I the one on the match game? Was that me?
No.
Oh,
Not
okay,
that
Gene.
one or the Alec Baldwin version that they have now. No, she's been in the matching people business, of which I have 9 marriages under my belt, by the way, not including my own.
You've told me that at least 25 times.
Exactly. Well, nobody else in the audience has heard it before, Lisa. That's
okay.
podcast work. They don't
let everyone know.
Any conversation with me.
You and I were supposed to have our own show. Remember, that would have been a good one.
That would have been a good Lovemaster and the Love Mistress. Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
So, I do think that the idea on that answer would be Matt Gates is you could actually just show films on his forehead and have a good time. Sometimes the jokes write themselves. I'm trying not to do politics because it's not evergreen, and I like to do evergreen stuff, and I also like to do personal experiences. Like I have experiences personally with Donald Trump, so nobody can argue with me. Go, whatever it is, they do. They all get in fear. They deify the guy. Don't deify anybody. Don't deify political parties or anyone. You're done, because they're going to find faults within that concept of deifying someone. They're going to find all that trip you up. So just deify yourself. You know what I mean? Like just listen to yourself and your own conscience, and not what this news that's sponsored, what they tell you to do. Is follow your own heart, follow your own lead, follow your own laughter, your own levity, your own light. Be your own voice. I have a book coming out called Get Out of Line and Into Alignment. Get into alignment with yourself and your true
Did you
self,
become
your
a
authentic self.
Did you become a chiropractor?
Not that kind of alignment.
I think you're right. What you're
I'll
saying. We
straighten
shouldn't
out your
believe.
spine, baby. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm ready, baby, baby. I'm wearing my love jacket, baby. See my.
Oh, there you go. It's got a love jacket.
See. If your life were a drinking game where you had to drink every time you were heckled, what would your blood alcohol level be?
I must admit, I don't get heckled that much. I guess from being a veteran, I will
You
tell you.
don't. You
No,
really don't.
no. I talk so fast, I can't get a heckle in.
They can't keep up with you.
I talked to Adam about that. I can't. Nobody can get a word in edgewise with me. So I don't get heckled. Know how to handle it. So I'd say I'd be a 1-2 blood alcohol level. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't
I'd be all
drive,
Yeah.
but maybe you can make it home.
Right. Right.
Adam, next time Craig is in town, we're going
of
to his
course.
show.
You said
You have to
you
go.
know, we're just
Yes,
getting
Have
back.
one coming up. I have one coming up, socially distanced, really soon, as a matter of fact.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be outdoors. Now, tell me my career's not skyrocketing at a golf course.
Really? Sherwood? Lake
No,
Sherwood?
Los Robles. No, not that nice. Los Robles,
Calabasas?
a public course. Los Robles.
I know Los Robles. It's not that far from
I
us.
booked it through, though, a very prestigious place, the Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza, that's not ready to open yet. So
Oh.
they said, why don't we do an outdoor concert? I agreed to do it. So I think tickets are almost sold out. So yeah, go to craigshoemaker.com. By the way, my name is Shoemaker, not Mocker, folks. A lot of people, hello, you're my favorite comedian, Craig Shoemaker. You make shoes, you don't mock shoes, unless they're Crocs. Those you can mock. Lisa, do you know what the holes are for? So your self-esteem can slip out.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
We're 4 for 4. He hasn't heard any of those questions.
Oh,
Here's one more. The last one. Philly native Will Smith was the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. What LA town would your parents have sent you to be a prince of?
what LA town with my parents?
Would you be Fresh Prince? Fresh Prince of Watts? What would you be? Fresh Prince?
My parents wouldn't send me anywhere except for just get out. It's like, well, first of all, my father left when I was born. Something I said, wah, he was gone.
All right.
So he became a cult leader in the Pocono Mountains. And my mom pretty much,
Did he really?
doing her thing. And so I don't know that they would send me anywhere. I've always gone everywhere on my own. So I was Fresh Prince of Hollywood when I first moved out here. So I guess that's where I'd go. I moved to like La Brea and Hollywood, right around there, the Hollywood Boulevard, La Brea.
I lived over there on Hollywood Boulevard in La Brea.
Oh my God!
Was that you?
Have we ever?
Wait, we didn't do that, did we?
I know. I was just thinking that.
Wait.
You never
Was
know.
that you?
You never
Wait
know
a minute.
what went on in the 80s. The late 80s were not a good time for people to remember things.
Maybe that's why the Lovemaster sounded familiar when I saw your show. Okay, that's another show.
I wonder if you lived. What street did you live on?
I lived right in the building, right there on Hollywood Boulevard and La Brea, 7205 or something like that. I think I know it's a 72 something address.
That was my address too.
So then that was you. Oh, you were good.
Crazy. Oh boy, we're gonna have to
search
the archives. All right. Have to search the archives on that one. So,
I better check that DNA on my older daughter.
No, that was afterwards. So, and yeah, I lived in Hollywood, and it was not the Hollywood that it is today. That's for sure.
No, not at all.
It was corner of crack and homeless.
How about Jerry? We were talking about Jerry Seinfeld before. Jerry Seinfeld just showed comedians in cars getting coffee. Who's the most famous comedian that ever asked you to get them coffee?
If you asked me to get them coffee,
yeah.
What do you think? I've been a headliner pretty high level for a very long time. I can't think of somebody that's saying, "Hey, come here. Go out and run to Starbucks and get me a coffee, okay? If you want to open."
Oh, come on, Craig!
No.
When you were working at all the comedy clubs in New York, did you ever work at any of those clubs where one of the comedians, maybe like someone like Jay Leno, said, "Hey, buddy, want to go get me a cup of coffee?"
No, well, I mean, I guess you could come close to that. Jay Leno, I did open for him in the '80s when I was a kid, and
see, there you go.
Well, the only place I can go get some chicken, fried chicken. I eat that every night before I go on stage and after.
That was a good Jay, but I want you to do my favorite.
Who's that?
Nobody does Barney Fife.
Oh, jeez.
Barney Nobody does Barney like you.
Well,
Not
I will tell you, do my Barney in a story that I just told.
not Barney the dinosaur,
No,
guys.
not I love you. Bro, hey, we're
Oh,
super,
damn.
I think he's banned now or something. I don't know what happened to him, but
Yeah, something happened
Barney
to him.
Fife, for
Antichrist.
those of you too young to know who we're talking about, was Don Knotts, a great character on the Andy Griffith Show. I just watched an episode the other day. It really is
One of the
classic
greatest.
television. Yeah, it really it's just great classic television. They didn't have to do this, that, and the other thing for
Simple.
simple. They really did keep it as simple, and it was comfort food for me. I used to come home, watched it on UHF. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
UHF.
are you kidding?
The other knob, yeah, where you surround the
Oh,
channel
the
with a safe
knob, the
cracker.
knob.
So
Giving away our age.
you
Okay.
actually, if you thumped on the floor, you could change the channel. It would go boop, it would just go right out of the channel from 17 over to 48.
Exactly.
So it was comfort food. I didn't have a dad. I'd watch after school, and Don Knotts became part of my life. He was like an uncle, and Andy was like a dad. So here's what's happened since that time. You know, I kind of had like, this is like almost like law of attraction put out to the universe kind of stuff. My first time on television, I won $10,000 on America's Funniest People with Barney Fife fighting the Cowardly Lion. That was the bit that I did. Oh, put him up. All right, Mr. Lion, you better back up. These things are certified lethal weapons. So that's and then my next I did
Pretty good, Adam, huh?
I did
Excellent.
two
Excellent, Barney Fife.
two guest star appearances
And
on
Lion.
Matlock with Andy Griffith and Don
I
Knotts.
worked with Andy Griffith on Matlock.
You,
He never remembered his lines. Remember?
what did you
Do you remember?
on?
I did. I was in the on the jury. I was on the jury.
You're on the jury? Were you the,
Yeah, Matlock. I was in the courtroom.
what does that mean? You were
I was a juror.
you were like juror number 3, like
5, 6. I don't know.
oh, did you have a credit?
Yeah, I had a credit. I was like an under 5.
What'd you say? Guilty? I want to see this Matlock episode. Damn,
I think I told Andy Griffith to remember his fucking lines.
So here's the series of events. First time on television, national television, won the 10th time. Then my first guest star is Matlock. Then I'm on Comic Relief, and it happened to be the night that Don Knotts is there with Steve Allen. The Steve Allen show, they were honored Steve Allen show. So imagine this. He's watching me live backstage in his big tent. People watched him watching me do him in front of the theater, over at Universal. And he's staring. He couldn't see really well. He's staring at the monitor. He turns to Steve Allen. He goes, he does me pretty good, doesn't he? And he's like older. So that was when they whisked me in the other room.
Furley.
It was a really big moment for me. Me and Chris Rock were kind of discovered that night. And I did a press conference. And all of a sudden he comes up there. He's frail and he's older. And then I do the old Barney, nip it in the butt, Andy. And he turns to me and goes, I can't do that anymore. You do me better than me. And then we hung out. I still have a great photo. I should get it for you. And we hung out for a long time afterwards. And then finally, Pleasantville, he plays the TV repairman, very much old and very much on his, last days. And he got sick. And another friend of ours edited the film Pleasantville, Billy Goldenberg, the great editor who's like the gold standard these days. We went to Temple together as well. And Billy calls me, and I had to loop Don Knotts. Half of the movie is me replacing his voice. Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
Watch the movie, and he circles the F on the illustrator, doing him as an old guy. So you talk about full circle in life. It's me, like he circles it. I go, boom, right there. What do you call that? Right there, bud, the forbidden fruit here in Pleasantville. I'm your TV repairman. And so that's actually my voice for most of the movie instead of his. So then to take it all full circle, his daughter calls me a few years ago. She has a book coming out called Tied Up in Knots. She goes, I want you in the book. You're my dad's favorite comedian. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, since a little boy with no father, and he's my uncle, to all that. And here we end up, I'm in the book Tied Up in Knots by Karen Knotts.
You should do an imitation of Karen as a girl version of Don.
Well, I actually did that. I did that because I did him as a porn star in front of her, going, take it off, back that up, so, and then I have an imitation of her going, that sounds nothing like my dad.
Hey, Alan, where's my producer? I hope you're listening to all this. Where, Alan? How you doing, Alan? Alan, hey,
I'm
Craig.
good.
This is my podcast. This is the producer of The Greatest. He's the greatest. He's in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
Did you guys meet yet?
we did.
Yes, we chatted before. I've been laughing my ass off all show, even though you're a Philly guy.
Even though you're a
kinda have
Penguins
that
fan.
blood-
Well, you don't have to
we
worry
have
about the
the blood
Flyers. They're
feud.
gone.
Not this year. Yeah, they're out of it.
Yeah.
And also my mother is a huge fan. I was telling her before we did the show.
His mom lives in
today.
Burbank. You know, he grew up in Burbank.
I grew up in Burbank.
Oh.
And my mom was like, "Oh yeah, I saw him for my birthday one
At the
year
Ice House.
at
I bet it was at the
Canyon
Ice
Club."
House.
At the Ice
Canyon Club.
House, yeah. And
Well,
she said, ask him if he'll be your new dad.
Please,
So
please. Of course, I can't have enough children.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, if I can give you the love that I give my other kids, the one's rejecting me anyway, so you can replace him. So yeah, Burbank, I'll be there back at Flappers in June for Father's Day weekend. How perfect is that? So maybe
Oh,
you
I
can
love
fly
that
out
room.
Nice.
and treat your father right and buy me something.
That's a great room.
All right,
I did that room I did the what was it with Wendy Hammers? Remember Wendy?
Yeah, old friend
Yeah.
of mine.
Yeah, I
Cherry
did
Hill,
her.
New Jersey.
I did Tasty Words with Wendy at
Oh.
Flappers a few years ago. That was fun. That's a
Yes.
That's a good room.
Great
We're gonna come
room.
there.
I will be
We'll
there
come see
Father's
you.
Day weekend. Yes, let's either that or come to the golf course.
You should all.
Those are the choices in California right now.
Well, we'll definitely get on the guest list. I'm sure. Let's see here.
Oh, I love what she
Craig,
says, get on the guest list. You can't just people see it. See how it works, folks. People can't fork out a couple dollars for comedy.
it's okay. Don't
For
worry.
their
We'll
own
do it.
health.
We'll do
You'll
it.
go get Tylenol down the street for double the price of the damn cover charge. So, man, comedians. We're
You
court
have-
jesters. Amuse me, fool, but don't charge.
All right. Well, buy the goddamn tickets. Don't worry. Craig, who was your favorite comedian growing up?
Wow. Have been asked that before, but it's a difficult one to answer. My biggest inspiration, believe it or not, is Bruce Springsteen. Not for
Really?
his jokes, but
He's not that funny, but I
No.
like his music.
oh my God. It's his in between. It's the interstitial stuff that really moved me and his whole performance.
Asbury Park.
And when I saw him in Philadelphia at the Spectrum, Born in the USA, I was just starting and I'm going, my God, if I could do that. He tells the truth. He brings it from the heels. He gives you everything he has. He's personal. I still remember the story from back then of him going to Graceland. And I said, that's what I want to do in comedy is have people relate to something that I'm saying. My truth becomes their truth. And that's the whole thing when he writes songs is everything is so from his heart. And I'm listening to his book right now. And that's who I wanted to be is Springsteen of comedy.
And you are because you do tell the truth when you're on stage.
and
Everything you tell, people could relate to.
And I do long shows that people are going, what the hell? It's like I do at least 90 minutes a show and I just give it everything that I have. I never pull back on a performance. I don't think he does as well. But I'd say it's embarrassing to say who my idol was because I met him a couple times and he disappointed me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Pryor?
No.
Carlin?
I love
Robin
love-
Williams?
I love them both. Yeah, loved Robin. Robin was awesome too. Such a great guy. One time I was backstage.
so great.
The Lovemaster film, as a matter of fact, we won the Independent Film Festival. It was 15,000 people. This tells you the relationship of where I come from with my mother. And so I'm backstage. We won the Independent Film Festival in Los Angeles. I'm going, hey, Robin, my mom loves celebrities. Can you talk to my mom in Philadelphia?
Oh, the Lovemaster's mother. Oh, yes, I will. Oh, does she have a big penis? Oh.
Anyway, so I said, great. I call her up. I go, hey, Mom, I'm standing here with Robin Williams, who's going to talk to you. I know you love celebrities, and my film just won the Independent Film Festival. Can you believe it? There's a silence. There's a pause. She goes, that's very nice, Craig. You know not to call me during Jeopardy. I got to go. As she's hanging up, I hear, who is Anwar Sadat? She has to get one more answer in before my stepdad does. And she hangs up. And I just won this big award. And I turned to Rob and I go, she hung up on me. I'll never forget his compassionate, empathic face. He goes,
Oh my God, how
I
embarrassing.
understand. That's what he says to me. I understand. He totally got it. Like, this is why we do what we do, because our parents hang up on us on a regular basis, metaphorically,
Absolutely.
symbolically, energetically. That's what they do. And that's why we do what we do. But the answer to the comedian that I most wanted to be was I was an impressionist. I don't know if you knew this. I used to only do impressions. I was like an impressionist more than a
Well, you do
comedian.
really good ones. You do good ones.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do
I love
tons of
Nicholson.
them, but they
Yeah.
all get outdated. So that's why I said, man, you gotta be more you. You gotta write for you. And this guy became outdated too because he was just an impressionist. It was Rich
Rich
Little. I don't know
Little.
if anybody knows
Rich
who
Little.
Rich
I knew
Little
you were
is,
going to
but
say. Yes. Of
yes,
course.
I
He
used
was
to
the
do an
greatest.
impression of Rich Little. Hi, I'm Rich Little. So that was one of my impressions. Hi, I'm Rich Little. Today on You Asked For It. Anyway, that's how he talks. It's like, anyway,
He does. He does.
I've learned how to enjoy genuineness and authenticity in people. As a matter of fact, I coach it. I'm coaching right now called Enlightened Up, and man, the courses are going great. I teach people
Good
how to
for
find
you.
enlightenment, alchemize humor, and turn it into gold.
Is it a
You know,
one-on-one or a
Yes,
class?
one-on-one classes. I do both, enlightenedup.com. But it's really awesome what I'm teaching is because humor should be used more in business, relationships,
All the
marriages,
time. All the
all the
time.
time. Women always say they want a sense of humor. What a bunch of shit. But
Yes.
anyway, but it's so important. So this is what I like to teach. And authenticity is really boil us down to our authentic, true selves. And the biggest key to comedy is truth and humility. So those are
Absolutely. Be able to make fun of yourself too.
exactly. It makes you more relatable, and people like
Don't walk around with a
it.
chip on your
Exactly,
shoulder.
or trying
Life is too
to
short.
show off. I was with this guy
Yeah.
one time. He's giving me a tour of his place. He married a famous woman. He's multimillionaire now. He said, "Look at me, look at this. Can you believe I have this?" I'm sitting there going, "Are either one of us enjoying this?
Yeah.
Are either one of
Like,
us
who cares?
laughing? You think
Right.
Picasso is making me go, oh my God,
Like,
this is awesome. Now you have all this stuff and I have none of it. This is great. What a good time I'm having because you married this money. Oh my God, there can't be a better time than this. There's nothing
yeah.
authentic about it. The guy's
Who
showing me
cares?
something that someone else did that he purchased through someone else. I mean, come on. Am I
Right.
supposed to be impressed by that? So
No.
that's what I try to teach is authenticity, getting down to the real you,
Love
genuine
yourself.
energy flow, I call it, GEF, and really get people to find out what's real in life and pass that on to your relationships, your children, your spouses, whoever it is, and bring that humor into everything that you do. So, and it was inspired by Golds. This is all inspired by
Well,
Golds.
and your wife.
She didn't inspire me. What are you kidding me? She's bad. She's got no sense of humor.
Oh, she's
Was that
she
racist?
you've changed a lot. No,
Can I
Craig, come
say it
on.
because she's from Japan?
No, you've changed a lot. You've changed a lot since I know you from 15 years ago. You're a different guy.
That's way over 15 years. What are you trying to make yourself
How,
younger? It's
yeah, of
way
course.
over 15.
You
Sorry.
she
It's before you
added
had children. So
she
do the
added
math,
something.
honey.
She added a lot into your life, I think, and I think she's an amazing, positive asset to you.
Can you get her?
In
Can you get her to sleep with me?
your life. I'll talk to her.
Can you talk to her and get her? Can that match be made?
I'll give her a sex therapy session. We'll do a sex therapy session. That's what I've been doing.
Means move into another room. I mean, I'm repulsive in quarantine. I gained 25 pounds.
Who didn't?
Well, you didn't.
I'm sitting on it, baby.
Oh, are you really?
Get on that.
Go ahead, show
I'm
it.
Get on my I'm going to get on my Peloton.
Show us
when
that
we're
big
done.
tuchus. Come on.
My
She's going to do it.
Right. Nice.
You see. Now, Lisa, I think I've already thanked you for this, but you and your matchmaking, it doesn't only apply to men and women or even a gay couple. You can sometimes match up people. And do you know where I'm going with this? You know who you match me with?
I think I know where you're going with this, but you could tell me
What
again
does he
and
do
remind
for a
me
living?
how great I am.
What does he do for a living? I'll tell you how great you are.
Well, he's either a magician.
Yes. Okay. There you go. So
or a football player.
Lisa was at a party with the Philadelphia Eagle about 11, 12 years ago. Oh, you're a Philadelphia Eagle. There's this comedian, Craig Shoemaker. He's a good friend of mine who's a big Eagles fan. He goes, Craig Shoemaker. I love that guy. And you connected us.
Yes,
and I became John Dorenboss. I became kind of a mentor for him. I got him on, I called Brian Gumbel, got him on Real Sports. He goes on America's Got Talent, comes in third. I mean, an Ellen show, and he's killing it. And you are the whole reason that the whole thing started with me and Boss. So there
There
you
you
go.
go.
Great job. And
See?
his first agent, I got him, was Babette Perry, who we mentioned earlier.
Oh, is Babette his agent? Oh, that's
She
great.
was his agent, but that was his first. I got him all over Hollywood. I took him all over Hollywood, introduced him when nobody knew who he was. He was a long snapper. Nobody even knows
He
what
was a
that is.
snapper for the Philadelphia
A
Eagles.
long snapper. So, yes.
Right. He
So
was
he's the
playing
guy
with
that
my
hikes
friend's
the ball
husband.
between his legs to the
Yep.
punter or the holder for the kicker, and that's what he does for a living for 15 years. But he's a master magician, and what a
Who
story.
would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought this guy is a master magician and he's doing shows?
Oh,
I mean,
he's killing it. And laughter healed him too, because his father murdered his mother when he was 11 years old. He went into foster care to deal with his grief. He became a master magician. And the rest is history. He brings
it's a
laughter and joy to many people. And he was originally part of the Laughter Heals organization as well. And yeah, John Dornbos, you're the reason that we met from your little yentiness.
my little yentiness. Yes, I bring people together in so many ways, and I'm glad that I made a difference in your life.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I always remember that, because you made the call to me. I said, yeah. I know. I remember what it was. You couldn't remember his name. And you said he's a white guy. I go, well, that's 3 people.
Oh, Craig. I actually said that.
Yeah.
Well,
you described him as, I said, describe what he looked like. He goes, well, he's white. And I said, well, if that's the case, if you look at the Eagles roster, that's one of 3 people. So I finally narrowed it down. You couldn't remember his name. It's an unusual name anyway.
he spelled it Jon.
That's true. Well, but that's the door in Boston. Okay. You were going, I don't know. It's
something with a
I said-
boss or
I said, is it
door or
Brent Selleck?
John.
I know I had a list of 3, and I figured out and then I went and met him on the field in Minnesota with my son. We met on the field, and
And you guys are like, I mean, you really are. You become so amazingly tight.
yeah, I mean, I loved, kind of like assisting him in some ways and introducing him around Hollywood. And now he surpassed me. He's like, way past me. So,
Isn't that amazing, though? I mean, is that unbelievable? The whole story, his
yeah,
story.
all these stories are incredible. I mean, it's like
I,
if people only looked at life of, you got to look into the destiny of things and into
why things happen, why
yeah,
why people meet one another, why
yeah,
people are. I think that there are no mistakes. I really believe that the universe works in such amazing ways. How they bring
yeah,
people together, and just the way we all met. Our whole group.
yeah.
We all met. I mean, you were playing basketball with Bobby Fallon,
Mhm.
and
Another one passed away this year. Great guy.
yeah,
He's in the Lovemaster movie as well.
greatest guy. We
Yeah,
did shows
yeah, we've had
together.
some tragedies and some deaths, but yet
Yes,
we're all together still. I mean, the ones who are alive, and we understand how important that bond is of friendship and loyalty, and we all
loyalty.
we all have our difficulties. I have people that can't stand
We all have our
me,
shit. We all have our
but
shit.
use these as an opportunity to grow, and that's again what I teach when I coach, is to use these seemingly difficult obstacles and use them to be stronger and learn from them. And
Which
that's what's
so
happened in
many
my life.
people need.
Listen, I came from poverty. I thought the word evict meant move. I thought they were the same word when I was a kid. And I was kidnapped by a serial pedophile when I was 13. I've had difficulty with
And
death.
look at you. You have this amazing family. You have an amazing life right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You have
But
a
it
career.
takes going through the other. I died once, hovered over my body, overdosed, all this kind of stuff. But I'm happy that it all happened, because I really can embrace what is, and
Yes.
happiness of life. And
And it's not about regretting. It's not
ah,
about
no,
thinking and dwelling and
no,
regretting and I shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's
yeah,
more about
no.
this got me here where I
Yeah.
am right now.
The other lesson I teach is I have been to the mountaintop allegedly, like awards, and I've achieved a lot of stuff from nothing, and it means nothing. It's like, so I keep
Nothing.
telling people, I go, these awards, these trophies, these Emmys, or whatever it is,
Yeah, yeah.
it means nothing. I mean, it helps give some credibility to get on.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't have been on this big podcast if it wasn't for the Emmys, but no, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
But
You wouldn't have.
but it's I only have people with 2 Emmys. Okay, can we? That's so line them up.
Are you still playing golf, Craig?
I do. I'm not a very good golfer. I know I lured your family into going over to Calabasas, but no longer.
Yes,
What
you
the
did.
hell? Come on, come
Yeah,
back.
what
Much
happened? I
better
don't
than when you
know.
were there. I don't know if you knew that they have a whole new wing and beautiful fitness club and stuff like that. You guys got to come back. I remember we used to see one another at little holiday event.
Remember?
There's
Halloween?
the buffets.
Yes.
No, the Valentines, the Mother's Days, all that kind of stuff. We'd see your family there and our family be there at the buffets at the country club. But yeah, I don't see you there anymore. I'm very disappointed. You need to come back. I play in these celebrity golf tournaments. I got a trophy for closest to the car. That's how good I am.
I met you. I think I met you at a golf tournament. The first time we met, you were playing a celebrity. I was hosting. I was one of the. I was doing a talk show, and I was interviewing you. I remember I interviewed you, and
I remember
yeah,
it. I remember
yeah,
it
that was.
because
I don't remember
I
where,
was
but
no, I remember because I was guilty. You put me on the spot about the charity. But a lot of times you don't
yeah,
know what
I
the
think
charity is.
yeah,
I'm
no,
going, I've always believed in look at her
yes,
breast cancer awareness. Oh, I'm very
yeah.
big on that, whatever it is. So I had to like look around on the, on
I still have
the
I think I
towel.
have the footage from that. I still have the. But I spoke to many people who play golf with you. They say that you're not a bit funny on the course with them. Why is that?
Wow, do they really say that? It's absolutely true.
Yeah,
Who said that though? Now
I
I
can't
feel
mention any
you
names.
have
I
to
can't.
mention names.
Well,
Your
they're not
husband?
alive.
Is
I
is your husband one of them? I don't even think I've ever golfed with him.
I don't think you've ever played golf with my husband, but my husband's too
No.
busy.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't think
He's
he. I
busy.
don't think it's my husband, but you.
Who said that I'm not funny on the golf course? They're absolutely right, but you have to tell me who it is.
I'll tell you after the show.
All right.
I think that you have been amazing today.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank you so much. You are. We could talk for hours, and we probably will end up talking for hours after we go off the air.
Make sure
But
make sure that you tell people to go to craigshoemaker.com. I guess I just did.
I was just
craigshoemaker.com.
about to ask. I was going to ask you that.
Sign
I
up
want
for
to
my shoes letter. There's lots happening. Wolfpack, go to Wolfpack on Amazon Prime. Give us a nice review and a rating.
absolutely.
Enlightened Up, the
Everybody, are you
podcast is
listening?
being released. Enlightenedup.com, craigshoemaker.com, and Wolfpack. Put it in quotes just in case you can't find it. On Amazon Prime, PAC. It's a great business show. We got 4 episodes right before COVID, and it's not only fun, but it's very informative about business, and we certainly need to have a shift in that department too.
Oh, for sure. Alan, do you want to say anything to Craig before we say goodbye?
I just want to say thank you, Craig, and I hope to catch you at Flappers or somewhere in SoCal when I'm back there and
Bring
out
your
of
mom.
the Berg.
Well, when I come
I'll
to
bring my
Pittsburgh,
mother.
you're going to come see me in
Or when you
Pittsburgh at
come
the
to
Improv.
Pittsburgh.
I'm lining
Hell
it
yeah.
up, so you better be there.
Yes, you'll meet-
Absolutely. And then we'll go on a road trip, Pop, just me and you.
I
I'm not
love
buying
it.
you a car like I did my other son. You got to deserve
I
it.
love you.
All right, love
I
you
love
too.
you, Craig.
Thank you, guys.
Talk soon.
You got it.
I want to thank my guest, Craig Shoemaker, for being on the show today. And I want to thank my producer, Alan Tuzinski, my writer, Adam Labarkin, and my composer, Jeff Urban. Thank you all for leaning in with me. And until next time, leaning out.
Lean in, Lisa, put it to the test. Lean in, Lisa, so get it off your chest. It's more than just a trend, 'cause everyone's her friend. So lean in with Lisa, spend your time with Lisa. Lisa's got something to say. So reach out to Lisa every day.